morning, everyone. I am Charlene Agustin, and my presentation is about the continent of Oceania. First country is Australia. Its physical features, when it comes to geothermal, the Mount Chunk is a 100-meter high dormant volcano in the southeast corner of South Australia near Mount Gambier. When it comes to cars, the Jenolan Caves are limestone caves located within the Jenolan Karst Conservation Reserve. When it comes to glacial features, in Tasmania, a succession of glacial systems are recorded. The early Pleistocene ice extent is the greatest with about 7,000 kilometers, point to of ice as a series of ice caps and valley glaciers. When it comes to the coast, beaches, the sweeping white sun crescent of Bondi is one of Australia's most iconic beaches. When it comes to coral reefs, the Great Barrier Reef is the world's largest coral reef system composed of over 2,900 individual reefs and 900 islands. When it comes to coastal wetlands, the Corong and Lakes Alexandrina and Albert S.A., the area is 23 individual wetlands and is also home to the threatened southern belt frog. When it comes to inland water resources, the lakes, this heavenly lake is famous for its radiant blue and turquoise-colored water. White sand surrounding the lake adds to its visual appeal. When it comes to river, the Cooper Creek is amongst the three most significant rivers that flows into the lake Iron Basin. It is also the second largest inland river system in the Australian continent. When it comes to cultural features, the gastronomy, the most famous barbecued snogs, aka sausages. When it comes to performing arts, Adelaide Symphony Orchestra is a South Australian performing arts organization comprising 75 full-time musicians established in 1936. When it comes to visual arts, the Green Rock paintings, one of the two major regional traditional of rocks art found in the northwest Kimberley region of Western Australia. When it comes to market, the Adelaide Central Market for over 148 years. The Adelaide Central Market has been an integral part of the South Australian food and culture scene at attracting 8.5 million visitors each year. When it comes to folklore, the Bunyip is a creature from Australian Aboriginal mythology said to lurk in swamps, billabongs, creeks, riverbeds, and waterholes. When it comes to festivals, the Vivid Sydney is certainly one of the most colorful festivals in that area celebrated in Australia. When it comes to handicrafts, the Murano glass beaded necklace. The second country is New Zealand. When it comes to geothermal, White Island or Wakari, which is also known by its Maori name, is an active andesite stratovolcano situated 48 kilometers from the east coast of the North Island of New Zealand in the Bay of Plenty. When it comes to cars, it's known for its extensive underground cave system. Thousands of glowworms light up the glowworm caves, Waitomo Caves. When it comes to glacial features, the Agassiz Glacier is a tributary of the larger Franz Josef Glacier and it's self-fed by the Chamberlain Snowfield and the Davis Snowfield. When it comes to the coast, the beaches, the Moraki boulders appears to have been plopped on the South Island coast, but they're actually rock formations that have been gradually exposed to Koekohe Beach through erosion. When it comes to coast westline, the Akukawakawa Swamp is an area of sphagnum bog in Egmont National Park in the Taranaki region of New Zealand. Tax over 90% of New Zealand's wetlands have been drained or filled over the last 150 years. When it comes to lakes, Lake Tekapu is one of three parallel lakes that run from the north to south in the Mackenzie Basin on the South Island. When it comes to rivers, the Waikato River is the longest river in New Zealand, running for 425 kilometers through the North Island. When it comes to cultural features, the gastronomy is artisan cheese. New Zealand has several world-class cheese. When it comes to performing arts, they do amateur theater. When it comes to visual arts, this one is the example of Fall of Icarus features brightly colored anthropomorphic birds that resemble archaeological studies and figure of Maori folk tales. When it comes to handicrafts, carving, this is example of Aotearoa. When it's come to market, Matakana Market, a favorite stopover for those who's visiting the areas, vineyards, or simply wanting to soak up Matakana's quaint village warmth. When it comes to folklore, the Battle of the Mountains, one of the main legends surrounding the formation of New Zealand's mountain claims that Warfare was the ultimate decider in their positioning. When it comes to festival, the Auckland Lantern Festival is a showcase that celebrates the Chinese spirit of gaiety and light, which invites everyone to come out and just light their lantern to welcome prosperity and happiness with more than 800 handmade Chinese lanterns. The third country is Fiji. When it comes to geothermal, the Vionic volcano is a massive elongated basaltic shield volcano which forms the 40-kilometer long Vanuatu Island, the third largest of the Fiji island. The Vanuatu is also known as Garden Island because of its rich volcanic soils. When it comes to cars, the caves at Nadi, there are three limestone caves at Fiji's Nadi location in Main Cave, Lower Cave, and Secret Cave. When it comes to beaches, soap white sand beaches and sea easy snorkeling access to the Technicolor and hard-color gardens just offshore and make the beautiful stretch of shoreline at Castaway Island a Fijian favorite. When it comes to coral reefs, Rainbow Reef, home to the Great White Wall, which is the famous world over for the white coral proliferating in the sea. When it comes to coastal wetlands, the mangrove stands and forests of Fiji are composed mainly of two species of Rhizopaura and a species of Brojora. When it comes to lakes, the Navsiwaka Lake is a lake in Fiji and has elevation of 174 meters. Navsiwaka Lake is situated west of Nakula close to Waiwai Creek. When it comes to rivers, the Noava River is located in the island of Vitileova in Fiji and has its source on the southeast slope of Mountain Garden and flows for 65 kilometers to the south coast. When it comes to cultural features, the gastronomy is kokoda is a fish marinated in citrus juices. When it comes to performing arts, they do Fijian music of Fiji more Polynesian in character. When it comes to visual arts, this is the example of the wild gentle plant in 2019, the handicrafts. These are the handicrafts of Fiji. And market, sa handicraft market Nadi, a great local market portraying authentic handicrafts and waves, quieter stalls, and great opportunity for quality people watching. Folklore in Fijian mythology, Deji enshrined as a serpent is a supreme god of Fiji. Festival, one of the most popular Fiji festival, Bula is celebrated to honor the history and heritage of the country. The word Bula is used to greet, meaning hello or welcome in the native tongue. The fourth country is Vanuatu. Vanuatu is geothermal when it comes to Mount Yasur is a volcano on Tana Island. Vanuatu is 361 meter high above sea level on the coast near Soptur Bay, northeast of the taller Mount Tocumesera, which was active in the Pleistocene. When it comes to cars, the Blue Cave is a true natural wonder that's stacked away from the view and hidden from the most of the world. The glacial features, the Mount Tabumasana is the highest peak in Vanuatu and one of the highest mountains in the Pacific. When it comes to beaches, Champagne Beach is a popular beach located on the island of Espiritu Santo in Vanuatu. The beach famous for its crystal clear water and powdery white sands, which is one of the best South Pacific region. When it comes to coral reefs, the coastal and underwater environment of Vanuatu harbors some of the most stunning dive sites in the Pacific island, Reef Fish Vanuatu. When it comes to coastal wetlands, swamp on the northern side of Efata, Vanuatu, that's the example. When it comes to lakes, Letas is the largest in Vanuatu, located in the center of the volcanic island of Guawa of the Banks Island in northern Vanuatu. When it comes to rivers, the Jordan River on the island of Espiritu Island is the largest river in the Vanuatu archipelago. When it comes to cultural features, the gastronomy, the national dish of Vanuatu is laplap. Laplap is a baked pudding. Performing arts, the traditional Vanuatu water dance. Visual arts, songwriting is a Vanuatu artistic and ritual tradition and practice. Handicrafts, Fort Villa community handicrafts. Markets, Fort Villa is home to a unique cultural fusion, folklore, the legend of Kepwet, the trickster god. When it comes to festival, Yam and Magic Festival, celebrated every July 21 to 22, an ancient cultural event that Yam and Magic Festival celebrates the yam, demonstrating the importance the vegetable has to Ni Vanuatu. The last country is Marshall Island. Geothermal, Limaluk, formerly known as Harry or Harriet, is a Cretaceous Paleozoan geotable mount in the southern Marshall Island, one of a number of sea mounts, a type of underwater volcanic mountain in the Pacific Ocean. When it comes to beaches, Emon Beach is located on one of the largest atolls of Marshall Island on Kwajalein Atoll near the military base. The coastal zone is covered with so fine sand of light yellow color. When it comes to coral reefs, the Marshall Islands are composed of 29 atolls and 5 low reefs islands grouped into two north-south oriented chains. There are nearly 300 colors and more than 800 fish species, and most reefs are virtually pristine, very high coral over 50 to 90% and relatively high algal cover. When it comes to coastal wetlands, this is the rising seas, swamp, Marshall Island. When it comes to gastronomy, this is the Baramudi Code, is a fish specialty of Marshall cuisine that is considered one of the national dish of the islands. When it comes to performing arts, music of the Marshall Islands, the example, and when it comes to visual arts, this is the L'Oreal of Asheville, the Andrew Krauss Pacific Periscope. Those are examples. When it comes to festivals, Marshall Island Constitution Day. May 1 is the anniversary of the day of first Marshall Islands Constitution was signed. This was one of the first steps towards complete independence, and today its people remembers this significant event through paradise. Parades, breaths, and filled by the among competitions among local schools. So that ends my presentation. Thank you for listening.